Alright, welcome back boys and girls to my second part of me showing you guys about building ramps. In our last video I was up in the east side of the valley, way up in the desert, and I was showing you about collecting all sorts of wood that people had left. Well, let me show you what we've done so far. Right here behind me, this wood right here was all that wood that I show you that I started building with, that I collected. I built one launch ramp up to one ollie landing box, and then I built a second landing box as well. Under here, as you can see, these are the two landing boxes. So now I got a launch ramp and two landing boxes, all from the pieces of wood for free that I collected from up there and recycled. Some of it was even burnt, the two pallets, but I put those on top and then did a layer of plywood, but they're still super strong. And I've also been using them now to build my quarter pipe. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Now, these are the pieces of plywood right here that I took from up there, but this wood here is new wood that I bought, because since this is going to be more heavily used, I wanted to make this strong. Now let me show you how, right here, how you get a perfect line or circle of a quarter pipe, or if you're going to turn it into a half pipe or launch ramp. Okay, here's the design. All right, here's your piece of plywood that you buy, a 4x8 sheet of plywood, which that starts out as. Okay, how you make that perfect circle, okay, what leads up to what they call the vert. Okay, you take a line, and if you stand out here, okay, this would be me, and I'd have a string, and I put it right in the middle, okay, or I could put it over here or anywhere, but as long as this is 10 feet, and the 10 feet, I'm pretending that this is a radius, and a radius, okay, is if this was a giant circle, the 10 foot is in the very, very middle, okay? Because if this was a diameter and went all the way across to both ends, that means it would be a 20-foot diameter. That's what that means. So half of it right in the middle is a radius. So when you take a 10-foot radius and you go from here and you hold the string tight and you move the pencil along that line, this is how you get the perfect amount of vert. Whether you start over here, if you want to start to go all the way up to the far as you can, but if it only ends at 4 feet on a piece of plywood, this is how they continue to go higher and higher, and they just add more wood with 2x4s, and that's how you get like a deep half pipe. All right, it'd be 4 feet, then 5 feet, 6 feet, 7, 8 feet. This is how much. So you always want to use what's called a 10-foot radius when you design the line. And that's what this line is here. It's a 10-foot radius. And I only went about 26 inches tall is about all I wanted to be. I didn't want it to get too tall. So that's how you get that line right there. And then once you draw it on a piece of plywood, you cut it. What did I use to cut it? This thing right here. This is called a circular saw. This is the magic thing, but very, very dangerous in cutting wood. Pretty straight, but also cutting it just at enough of a curve. Okay, you can't do much more in a curve than that, but get it nice and smooth. This is what I use for cutting those things and for cutting these boards here. This board right here that I'm cutting is the last board to cover my first line of plywood. I already put one piece of plywood down for my first skin, and I just got done cutting that all the way across, and I can show you right now, boys and girls, what this is going to look like. I cut it, and I take it right here, and I'm putting it right on here, just like this. Pretty much lines up to what I wanted. I'm just going to line it up edge to edge, and I'm going to start screwing it into the 2x4s and I'll finish that curve out right there. How do I do that? My magical power drill, and I got a few screws left, and I'll show you how you start to get a curve out of it. Now, this size wood right here is 3/8. You want to use a 3/8 down to a 1/4 inch, and you usually use at least 2 to 3 maybe layers of that thin. Your sides, you want at least to have about, I'd say, at least a 1/2 inch to 5/8, even 3/4 inch. Let's see if I hit the screw through here. That's one. That was pretty good that I hit that right there. I don't know if I'll hit it right here. Am I about straight across right there? Let's see if I can do another one right here. And as soon as I do a few more screws, it'll start to curve even more. Where's the next one? Let's see. It's up here somewhere. Up here. Where over here? Put your finger on the 2x4, about right here. Right there. Or down. Right there.
I think it's like right there. No,
here.
like
right there.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can hit it from here. Okay, so as you can see, all I gotta do is keep getting some more screws and screw it in, and it'll start to finish curving more. And then the parts over here, come over here, get down low. You can see how I built it right here, and these are all 8-inch apart, and when you build a ramp, these are called the ribs. The ribs. So when I sent you guys the packet last week, it was showed a little bit different way. They put a middle piece of plywood in. I cut these down to less than 8 feet, down to 90. See, that's 96. I cut them down to like 94, 93, 92, and then added this, so that way a full 8 feet would stick over just a tiny bit. So yeah, I made it 94 inches. And to make sure I have plenty of extra space when I put the full 8 feet of plywood down. I have a little bit. But I put them every 8 inches apart. You can see how I lined them up. That's how it goes like that. And you can put them 10 inches apart, depends. Just as long as you put more. And then I'll have the very last layer, I'll put a stuff called masonite. And it's this real smooth, thin stuff. It makes it real smooth and a little bit slick, but not too slick, but nice and smooth for skateboard tires or skateboard wheels. And then you can also use this now too for my bike. Then right here, I'm going to put a nice bar, an 1.5 inch metal bar they use for fencing, and that'll be called the coping. And I drill it in, I screw it in, and that's for when you go up to do grinds or to do like nose slides or board slides and stuff. And that'll go here. And then I can further go back and I can build a landing onto this as far back as I want. And this thing, the more I add to it and the more I build onto it, the stronger it'll be. And then I can build a ramp and then another one going down this way, same one. And this will be called a spine ramp. Then I'll have 2 ramps going down, and then I can add these pieces to it and have this launch ramp and have this here and have it so it can go together and make it like a little mini skate park, and get a bar, a rail bar. I can build more of these landing boxes. I can go back up there and there's more wood up there to recycle. Again, it's unbelievable that people would do that, and it's sad for the environment. But there's plenty of wood out there to get stuff that I can make at least crude landings and boxes and ramps like that. But to make stuff that's a little bit more advanced, you want to buy a little bit newer stuff to make sure. But I'll put another, I'll make a whole another one of these quarter pipes, and I can even do it so it's next to it to make it even longer. But there's a whole bunch of stuff I can do and build. So now you guys can see from start to finish what I can do with the wood, and how much other stuff I can build. I've built 4 or 5 foot high. I've had entire half pipes built in my backyard when I was growing up, and I did it all myself using my drills and my circular saw. And then the last one of all, this right here, called a compound miter saw. This is a very important saw too. That cuts all my 2x4s and boards. If you see when I have angles cut up my boards, that's what cuts angles and stuff. So there you have it, boys and girls. The wood that I was collecting, I showed you what I built, and then I showed you that I'm building a quarter pipe myself. So I know those directions you saw, that was just something that you guys just to look at and give you an idea and how exciting it is to be able to do. And you know, as you guys get older, get interested in using tools and learning how to do stuff yourself. I've been doing this since I was 13 years old, building ramps and fixing things and building my own skate jumps and everything. So it's not hard, but you got to be very safe and very careful. Okay, safety is always first. So I always take care to make sure my area that I'm working with is clean and safe, and nobody's around. You know, you take it very seriously. But I hope you found this interesting, and I hope the thing is cool. And you know, and if you guys ever want anything like this done, let me know, because I do build ramps and build jumps for customers. I've done this before. So if you have if any of your kids want ramps or jumps or anything like that built, let me know, and we can work something out. I got a trailer, and you know, I got all the tools and everything, and like I said, I can build almost anything out of wood, especially for skateboarding and biking. So there you have it, boys and girls. So I hope you like this, and hope it gave you guys some good ideas, and you're never too old to have fun and stop skating. So skateboard and BMX and snowboard, and keep playing sports, keep being active your whole life. All right, have fun out there, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.